All right, everybody, we are back for another React series here. We got some videos from Instagram and TikTok to review. Some are user submitted, so don't forget if you have a video that you want us to react to send that to us, ideally on Instagram or TikTok, so we can get that on a future React. So we're going to jump right into it. Let's see what we got here.
Hey, yo. What are you doing? Yo, you're hitting my dog. Yeah, what is going on? Yeah. Shouldn't he be on a leash? Excuse me.
Get your dog away, man. Your dog's fucking nuts.
Right.
Take a picture of that dog.
You have a whole park, and you come all the way over here. You're welcome, dude. I'm like at the corner of the park. Yeah, dude. Yeah.
So we
Again,
got a
your dog should be on
little
a leash.
altercation here between
So my
people
fucking
at the
dog,
park.
dude. Your
It
dog's
appears.
nuts, man.
Cool.
Your
My
dog's dangerous.
is on a leash.
Look at that.
Yep, on a leash. Good luck.
So we got
I can't believe y'all hit my dog.
altercation here at the park. It does look like a fairly large park, so I'm not sure exactly what happened, but my guess is that before the video, the white dog and the German Shepherd came over to the guy with the dog on the leash, and the dog on the leash is not a dog-friendly dog. I'm looking at the body language as we can see it, and the dog is definitely very forward-moving, very confident. The tail's up, the tail's wagging, which, as you know, is all indicators that the dog is very aroused and very confident and very dominant. So my guess is these other dogs that were off leash came over to check out this dog that's on leash, and the dog that's on leash went ahead and grabbed a hold of the white dog that we see at the beginning of the video and latched on, and the lady's screaming and all that. The dog's screaming and everything's going on. And it appears that through the video, the guy doesn't care. And he keeps saying, you know, my dog's on a leash. My dog's on a leash. Why isn't your dog on a leash, right? Just does not care. He's just letting his dog go to town. So a couple problems with that is that when you have a dog that's reactive like this, or, you know, has problems with other dogs, because it could have grabbed the lady that fell on the ground, but it didn't grab her. It was trying to get to these other dogs. But the problem with that is you're letting your dog practice the behavior of grabbing a hold of other dogs, even though you're in a park that apparently has a leash law and you're following the law, but the other people aren't. That's kind of this guy's point, you know, that their dog should be on a leash. But what just happened is his dog just practiced grabbing a hold of another dog, holding on to another dog, biting another dog. Therefore, that behavior of going after other dogs is going to get stronger and stronger and stronger. This guy's not doing anything that we can tell to work on his dog's dog reactivity or dog aggression, right? He's just allowing it to happen. This dog that grabbed a hold of the other dog has been reinforced, so this behavior is going to get stronger. That's my main problem here. Now, these other two dogs, you should have good off-leash control of your dog, so you shouldn't just, this is one of the reasons why you don't let your dog just wander up to another dog. And unless you've been around a dog that's reactive or has problems with other dogs, you really don't understand it until you have that dog. Because everyone wants to think that all dogs are friendly and all that kind of stuff. But, you know, so I get it from both points of view. But my rule of thumb is if you're this is a huge park, plenty of room. If your dogs are off leash, don't let them wander up to another dog. Say no, tell them to come back to you. If you're not able to do that, then you need to have some e-collar training done so you can make sure they come back to you when they're supposed to. But also, if you're the guy with the dog on the leash, I'd be doing everything I can to get my dog to look at me and not reinforce that dog's dog on dog problems. So that's kind of my thoughts here. Crazy situation. I have been at plenty of dog parks with dog reactive dogs that are on a leash and other dogs that are off leash coming up to me. I've been through that scenario. I've handled that scenario. Usually I just tell the other people, hey, my dog's not friendly, get your dog. I've had to use my foot to keep dogs away from me and the dog that I have. But the dog that I have is always in heel position whenever I'm in this situation. So unfortunate situation for everybody. But there's problems on both sides of this situation with both groups of people.
Get up. Go on. Richard, call 911.
Go. Call 911. What happened?
He ran out as soon as I was leaving. He ran out.
Get in there.
What? In the house right there.
Go! Go! Get in the house!
Get in the house. My wrist.
Go!
You guys are tired.
Hey! Get out!
All right, so pretty crazy situation. Looks like we got this guy with the shirt off, good-looking guy. Got the shirt off coming out of his house to handle or help with a situation that's going down on the street. Probably heard people crying for help because they're saying they need to call 911. But it looks like you got this lady and her husband walking 3 dogs. They're on a leash, and then you have this husky Malamute coming out down the street chasing them. Not clear if the husky Malamute owner is somewhere around because we got the guy with the shirt off, runs out the door, tells the people, hey, go in the house. It must be his house. I don't think it's their house. I think it's this guy's house. He's like, hey, get in the house. Go in the house. The lady's acting like she got bit on the hand. Then you got the husky Malamute, number 1, showing lots of confident, dominant, aroused body language. Ears are up. It's very, a body held upright, tails up and curled over. Obviously, there's a little bit of a natural tail curl there. But anyway, this dog's coming after these other dogs. So a couple things happen. They go into the house, and then the guy and the husky Malamute get into this tussle on the front porch. He's basically doing a great job this whole time using his body, telling the dog to get away, go, 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 get away, using his body to block the dog from getting to the other dogs. But then they end up wrestling on the front porch where the husky Malamute mix kind of turns on the guy and, snaps at him, barks at him, all that kind of stuff. So 2 things here really quick. First of all, number 1, this guy, he's doing a great job, keeping the dog at bay. But number 2, he's very lucky because if you're on the ground with a dog like that, you are at, the most risk, that you don't want to, risky situation you don't want to be in. You're on the ground with a very powerful dog. If this dog wanted to cause major damage to him, it would have, I'll tell you that. But if you're in that situation, you end up falling down with this dog. First thing you want to do is get both your hands up underneath that dog's head and control its head, right? That's the most dangerous part, is where it's biting. So you want to get up and control the head. And what I would do in this situation is grab a hold of that dog up underneath the head, trying to control its jaw and where it can put its mouth at, and then carry it back out into the street until I can get some type of control on the dog. Hopefully someone's called animal control or maybe found the owner with a broken leash or something that you can wrap around the dog's head. But I'd be holding up underneath that dog's head, keeping control of its head with the neck and grabbing onto fur, whatever I can grab onto, until number 1, the dog shows me that it's calmed down, or number 2, I have another way of helping to control the dog by putting a leash over its head or something like that. So, but overall, the guy did a great job in this situation. Definitely an athletic guy, which I think helps him out here. And then he also did a great job telling those people, like, hey, get into my house, get into my house. What a nice guy for doing that. So this is the kind of neighbor you definitely want in your neighborhood, that's for sure.
Are you all right? Are you okay, Dylan? Are you okay? Are you okay? Dylan, I'm an ally. I'm an ally. What's the difference?
This dude's good.
Can't you just say hi in a nice way? What's with the aggression, man? This aggression will not stand, man. Dylan, who feeds you breakfast?
Obviously, this is how this guy gets his views, but this is obviously letting the dog practice bad behavior. This can and will probably escalate as time goes on. I don't know anything about this guy. Never seen him before, I don't think. He's petting the dog as the dog's showing all these aroused and jacked up behaviors, so we're just further reinforcing them. The dog's also on top of the guy, which is a dominant position from a dog's perspective. So all this guy's doing is just reinforcing his dog's dominance and his dog's mentality that the dog can control the guy and, tell him what to do, essentially. He's got I think the video starts off with the dog putting his mouth on the guy. Then he jumps on the guy, right? All dominant signals, taking the guy over and all that kind of stuff. There's a difference between a dog that gets kind of noisy when they're aroused, and a dog that's showing these behaviors. And also with the dog's ears pinned back, the dog is unsure. The dog's not clear about what the dog is mentally in conflict about its relationship with its, I guess this is the owner. So the dog's in conflict about the whole thing, lip licking and everything, showing clear signs of conflict, clear signs of being unsure, showing all these behaviors, getting reinforced for the behaviors. This can only escalate as time goes on and then result in some very bad situations with the guy. Obviously, this is how the guy gets his views. I would like to read some of these comments here to see what people are saying. Wow, someone just said, had Rotties for 30 years, no way I would ever tolerate anything like this. Sort of dangerous dominance from a dog. Absolutely poor dog ownership. Will get someone seriously injured. 100%. Another trainer, dog pro trainer here. Behaviorist here. He's asserting dominance. You are absolutely enabling it. Not okay. You better correct this problem. No one will ever convince me this is a normal behavior. One day, bro will suddenly stop posting. Laughing face. Yeah, alluding to the fact that this dog's going to kill him. Hope people realize this dog that loves his owner. He's not growling in anger. It's a Rottie rumble. You can tell he's not angry. He's just playing. Ha, ha, ha. So that's what I was alluding to when I'm saying some dogs, when they are excited or aroused, or like excitable, they make some noise, right? I have a dog like that. This is not what's going on here. This dog is aroused, which is why it's making the noise, but the clear signs of conflict, the ears back, the looking to the side, the lip licking, the way he's holding his mouth and everything, all signs of conflict, not cool, not good to go. Lots of warnings in the comments. All right. People are saying this is not normal Rottweiler behavior. Yeah, so I'm glad to see a lot of people are saying this is not a good idea.
Yes. Come here. Remington.
POV.
Whoa.
Okay. All right, so it appears that, actually, let me read what this poster said.
Yes.
I figured since most of the world has already seen it and commented on it, why not just post it myself? No one was harmed. The runner is and was okay. No contact was made. I tested my dog when he wasn't ready, despite having done it several times before. However, he is a puppy. He wasn't ready for that much distance with that many distractions. Anyway, TikTok has already seen it, so I'm sure you have. All right. So she's taking ownership here of the situation. All right. So we got a dog on a retractable leash. That's a problem. I'm trying to see what kind of collar it's on. If you're using a retractable leash, I prefer it on a harness because the retractable leash is going to be putting some tension on the dog, and I definitely don't want that on a collar because I'm doing a loose leash with the collar. So if I'm going to use a retractable leash, which there are use cases for them, specific training situations, I would use a harness. But anyway, back to the situation we're actually talking about here. Very active walking trail. You can see lots of people walking, dogs running. Then you got this guy running up the hill who her dog just targets. I'm assuming out of prey drive. Let me just assess the dog a little bit more. So we got the dog's head down, tail down, unsure, a little bit nervous, and then it, boom, goes after this guy. Tail comes up. So I'm pretty sure that's a prey drive trigger, right? It's either a prey drive trigger or the dog's a little bit unsure about this dude running and just decides to go after him. But in any case, she's, I believe, working on training. So she's working on training, exposure to different stimuli, exposure to the environment, which is a good thing to be focusing on. However, I would just modify what she's doing just a little bit. First of all, I wouldn't be using a retractable leash for this. I'd be using a 6-foot leash. I use a leather leash for this just because it's sturdy and more comfortable. But I would use a 6-foot leash, and you want to have plenty of food rewards. If you look at what this dog's doing, paying more attention to what's going on around than the lady. So whenever we're taking our dog out for socialization, we want to work on providing our dog with a positive experience in close proximity to new people, places, and things. So she's done a good job of coming out somewhere where there's people, places, and people and dogs and stuff going on around her, but we need to give positive experiences. So what I would be doing here is doing eye contact work right where she's at, having the dog focus on me. If the dog looks at something, I just say his name, or I give my cue to the dog. The dog turns, looks at me, I say good, I reward it, we continue on, right? So that's what I'd be doing. instead of just having a retractable leash, dogs walking around, dogs responding to the environment, because the dog did get reinforced by going after this guy. So just some slight tweaks to what she's doing, but I do appreciate how she took ownership of the situation and that no one got hurt. So this guy's just running. He's not expecting this dog to come after him. And then what do you know? Dog's coming after him. All right, moving on. Woman loses control of her dog. Oh gosh. Okay. What is the lady doing? What? Oh my, the lady falls down again. And this dog's just wrapping up the dude. And the lady's down. The lady can't get her dog. The dude grabs the leash. He's still got his dog. All right, this brings up a couple things I'm thinking about. First of all, if you can't, I hesitate to say control, right? But if you can't communicate with your dog, like this lady who fell down and the dog pulled her over, either number one, you need to get training to ensure you can communicate and control your dog. But number two, maybe have a dog that's more suitable for you yourself, right? Because if you go out and you get a dog, big, strong dog like this, it's pulling you down all the time. Number one, that's hurting you. You're definitely going to get injured doing that. But number two, it doesn't match with your lifestyle. Second thing is this dog, first of all, these people are lucky this dog's focused on the dog and not redirecting on any people. There's plenty of opportunity for this dog to grab a hold of one of the people in the environment, but it never did. It's just going after the dog. Secondly, this guy did a good job of keeping the small dog away from the big dog, grabbing the leash, holding on to the small dog, trying to help the lady, right? But as soon as you hand that leash back to the lady, it's going to be pulling her over again, right? It happened multiple times already. So before you take your dog out, number one, teach it to walk on a loose leash. You can get our book, The Ultimate Loose Leash Training Manual, if you want to work on that. Then you want to progress your training so you have solid communication. I would definitely do e-collar training with this dog, especially with this lady who keeps falling over. And you can go to our video on our YouTube if you want to learn how to do all the e-collar training yourself at home. Then you have your communication. Then you have your training. Now you can take your dog out and be at peace, right? Because if your dog does get away from you, right, let's say it rips the leash out of your hand, that's where your e-collar training comes in, because now you have your invisible leash. If you've done it properly, you have your invisible leash. You can communicate with that dog at a distance. So that's what I recommend for this lady. But overall, good job handling the situation by the people with the small dog. This lady that keeps falling over, I feel bad for her. Get this dog some training. Dog needs some impulse control and self-control, 100%. We got looks like a cougar. But they're playing, right? So it just goes to show you the relationships that can be developed. My assumption is this cougar seems to be in an enclosure, so it's in a zoo or some kind of sanctuary, right? And the dog must have known this cougar from, growing up, or they've been around each other enough to establish a relationship because they're both playing with each other. The dog is showing, like the dog puts his head over the shoulder, a little bit of a dominant signal there. But dogs and cats don't necessarily communicate on the same level. But they're definitely playing, right? They're definitely bonded. The cat's rubbing on the dog, which is what cats do when they're putting their scent on, people or other animals that they've bonded with. They're playing the game of chase. They're having a good time. They're running around. So it's just very cool to see these kind of relationships. Especially with a large cat like a cougar, right? That's a very dangerous cat, so you got to know what you're doing. Obviously, you want to know the animal. Obviously, this cat's been living here for a while. They might have had it from when it was a kitten and then raised it, and it's been with this dog. So that's just super cool to see the relationships that develop, not just between human and dog, but dog and cat, dog and other animals, and humans and other animals as well. So super cool. With that being said, that's all we got for you today. Hopefully you found some entertainment and value from that. And like I said with that one video with the lady keep falling over, e-collar training, very important. I think, it's one of the best tools you can use in dog training, but you have to do it properly. And thankfully for you, we've done a full tutorial on how to train your dog with the e-collar including a discussion of prerequisite training. So you do need to complete your prerequisites before you do your e-collar training. But if you want to watch that tutorial, we're going to put it right here for you. Just click the link and I'll see you in that video.